believe you were just driving.
Yeah, Martin's driving
Pay
now.
too much attention. Wow, it's busy here. Line up to get into the
Huge lineup to
Loblaws.
get into the Loblaws. Huge car lineup for the Starbucks. So we pre-ordered them, walked in,
Yeah, there's only like 3 people waiting for mobile tickets inside.
and with all the craziness, we thought we'll do this today. Although it's still sunlight. Hey Jeff. Hey Shane. I will turn the camera around in a moment. Just shoving this in my mouth. Wow. I'm gonna chew. Oh my god, look at this. Another cannabis shop.
A big one too.
That's gonna be a really big cannabis shop. Damn.
It's kind of shoppy. It's classy, right?
It's a shoppy.
Shoppy.
It's a shoppy. What's she
Dutch
eating?
love.
Well, we found these things called group lockers to kind of help when we're stuck. And today we're stuck. Oops, I'm clumsy because got food in one hand. There we go. I can do it this way. And we are eating these Starbucks bacon, egg, cheese things.
The turkey
English.
bacon sandwich.
Yeah, that's it. Hi, Vince. So we figured after yesterday's broadcast, we're gonna go out today and just do this one. I spent a miserable morning just crying my head off over so many things. Everything I watched, everything I did. Hi, Colleen.
So many feels this morning.
Hey, Peter. Hello, my friend. Hi, Vince. Drive safely. Always, Peter. See, Martin's chosen to drive.
Watching the road, not the.
Because I prefer doing this part. Hi, Biggie.
Yeah, if I'm on, it's just a whole bunch
Seeing
of.
snow when it's been so warm down here. Yes. Yes. But Peter, can you check? Well, there's a broadcast a few broadcasts ago that is not previewing at all, not replaying at all. I would love to get it replaying because it's got some special work done by Jeff there, Killed the Dragon, and us for Shane. And we'd love to have that up on our profile. And we're hoping it hasn't gone missing into the ether. But yesterday we promised that we would do this, and we thought today is as good a day as any because I spent most of the morning just crying my eyes out.
I think some of it was left over from last night.
Oh, last night we actually got around to watching, what was it,
The Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman, and I just cried through half of it. Yeah. Thank you for coming on with Mark. It was great to recap of the challenge. Nice. Enjoy it. Thank you, Colleen. Colleen, get your butt over to Haps. Girl, I see you haven't yet.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff. Killed the Dragon. Yes. Hi, guys. Hi, Sassy.
So do we want to take Lakeshore or Gardner? Let's take Lakeshore.
Lakeshore is the more interesting for the audience.
Yeah.
So we keep promising you guys, Toronto and stuff because there's a lot of old buildings and everything. And, well, actually, if you take they're both interesting from a different point of view.
Garden side?
The garden is, you decide. I'm not deciding.
Lakeshore.
Oh, there's the CineSpace that we were talking about. There's the other studios.
That's where the Expanse is filmed.
So Expanse is filmed there.
For anyone into the Expanse.
Love that movie. Yeah, we never got a chance to see it, so we a friend got us a year of Disney Plus. Actually paid for it. I'm so sorry, my brother had to put down his 13-year-old Belgium. Oh no! The vet was shocked how old the dog was and how good a shape she was. And eventually, they do pass. Greatest Showman is excellent. Yes. And I'm going to give you guys some info on broadcast in the near future when I'm not in a vehicle. There is a challenge being done by Playback Magazine, which is the entertainment industry magazine, to get people to sing the one section of the one song. And they're going to try to break a world record and raise money for the American actors, but I'm fine with that. For the American Actors Fund, to help some of the actors, some of the bigger Broadway actors who have been basically laid off their contracts, to help them kind of get over COVID and survive. So I'm going to do that in the next few days. I'm going to give you guys all that information and see if we can help them break this world record. I think you guys would like and really enjoy it. Is this the road rage reduction support group meeting? Yeah, hi, Don.
This is Toronto. What do you think?
Hey, Red Eye. Expanse is the best sci-fi on the little screen. I did some work on the Expanse.
Yeah,
I have yet to.
I spent about 3 months working on the Expanse, doing set construction.
don't know what platform is the best to reach you. That would be good. Yeah, I want you guys to help us break this world record too.
Yep.
But I'm gonna do that info another day. How is the 3D printer? I like the designated driver option.
Yep.
The 3D printer is not happy at the moment, and we're trying to figure out why. We're trying to do something special for Shane. I'm not going to say what because I want it to be a surprise for her. And yeah, it's acting up, and so is the laser cutter. Both machines are acting up, and we don't know why.
There's
So
bad juju in that building.
there's very bad juju in
We
that
have to get past the bad juju.
So it's part of the reason why I started crying is because we watched The Greatest Showman last night, partially because we were both like bashing our head against the wall, going, "Why is this not working? Why is this not working?" Everyone know Facebook Messenger is good. Okay, thank you, Vince.
Yeah.
Trying to connect you to my TV. Are you succeeding, Shane? I didn't know you guys made props until last night.
Seriously?
Cool, Sassy.
Who's that? Oh, Sassy.
3D printer is acting like a kid. It is. It's throwing a fit, and so is the cutter. Both of them. I'm just like, seriously, folks? This is amazing. Have a huge virtual stack of audiobooks. I can't wait to get into the original books by JSA Corey. 3D printers can be finicky. Well, it's not a matter of finicky. It's just it just
all of a sudden it's not the first layer isn't sticking down to the build plate.
I am new to you guys. Well, welcome. Hello, Sassy.
Sassy Janae. I've seen the name.
Yes, Sassy Nay. Metric electricity in Toronto.
Metric electricity. We still go by kilowatt hours.
Yes, kilowatt hours. That's right. Behave, Martin. It's a smoky. Love The Greatest Showman. Yeah. So we're gonna get all that, but we just had to get out while the light was out, and we thought, you know what? We told you guys all about the scenery and stuff last night, and some of the grounds further on Lakeshore because we were down that way yesterday with you guys. So now we're just gonna scoot across on Lakeshore. Breathe, let it go. Other drivers can be rude. I will not get a ticket. I will not get arrested for road rage. Again?
Again?
So he says, can oh, you can't. Can you hold my bag for a moment? Okay.
I'm sorry.
These are falling apart.
Yeah. There's bag cheese and bag egg in there now. I got a little bag cheese in mine.
Yes, Sassy Janae, but decided to change it to Sassy Nay. Oh. Cool. This is easier to watch you on with Smart View than myself. Oh, is it? Cool. Well, we're using the iPad. My phone is there, and it's the source of the internet. But I'm leaving my phone free in case someone calls. I don't want to interrupt it, so we got the old iPad out with us. Jane, you will love Christina and Martin because these two are the best prop makers and builders and Comic-Con people in the world. Thank you, Vince. They seem so lovely. We seem. Wow. They haven't seen the evil side yet.
That's like the interviews after the police incident. Well, they seem nice.
How's the iPad working on the app? It's a little finicky, but it's not, unsurpassable. I'm eating while I talk to you. They are. Thank you. I've been checking into HAPS as time allows. When I see a HAPS challenge listing, I swing by it, hopefully helping other Hapsters and hopefully getting the help back. Oh, Dawn, we will always do whatever we can for you, especially you, honey. Mm-hmm. It is a nice day. It's cloudy enough that we don't need sunglasses, but it's bright enough that it's daylight. Facebook captioning is hilarious. Autocorrect fail city. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, Red
Hamsters.
Eye.
Hamsters in
That's
New
right.
Hampshire.
Hamsters in New Hampshire. Thank you, guys. Okay, if HAPS is compatible for the iPad. It's as compatible as it can be right now, and we're not having any major problems with it. We are noticing that the older iPad is having an easier time with it than the newer iPad Pro. Mm-hmm. Not sure why, but it is. We've got the radio going, so we may wind up being muted on the replay on Facebook.
I'm just gonna turn it down here.
No, I like it. I like it. Did they have HAPS update tablet functionality? I just downloaded the app, and a lot of times I put like iPhone apps on my iPad, and it's fine. Hamsters, not gerbils, though. No. Welcome gerbils.
No Richard
doesn't work.
Gere.
No Richard Gere. Interesting. Chris and Martin are full of personality. We try, Shane. You would think the opposite. Well, this is I put a lot of iPhone, just the older iPad, not the new ones. The older iPads don't seem to give a damn. If it works on an iPhone, it works on it. It took 2.5 hours, but I qualified for Haps Challenge on Friday. I have added a Monday broadcast to help ensure I get 7 more weeks nailed.
Excellent.
$50 will buy a new set of reeds. $50 will go towards our move.
Yep.
Armageddon! Traffic, yay. Yeah, well, this is, Sunday's usually quiet, but this is Toronto. It should not be this quiet on a nice Sunday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is quiet, guys. Christina Martin, maybe one day, JS on Haps will give you guys the Golden Squirrel Award. That would be cool. I'm actually.
We were chatting on his broadcast.
Yeah, we were chatting on his broadcast last night. But I'm wondering if he has an actual physical Golden Squirrel Award. Because if not, I think I want to make him some Golden Squirrel pins and just send them to him and say, here, gift. And he can send them out to winners. Congrats on qualifying. Best of luck on that. Yes, Dawn deserves lots of loving, people.
Yes.
Martin and I are still hoping for sponsorships because knowing how much is coming in every month really helps us buy materials and stuff to build more and pay gas to get around the cities for you guys. And we want to keep broadcasting. And I'm hoping when conventions start up again that I can find a way to broadcast for you guys from conventions. I did a small broadcast earlier. Doubt it will qualify. Only got 12 live views. Oh no! Jeff, send out notifications. Let's build up your audience. Hello, Dragon. Kilter Dragon is Jeff, who is an incredible man, young man, in comparison to us. And who's been very helpful to Martin and I for many, many years. Can you broadcast in monochrome? If not relevant. I have no idea.
I suppose you could try. I don't know if you can change your camera settings like that.
Armageddon is a dribbling reference. I'll PM you a link. Okay.
Just as long as it's not too graphic, you know?
Yeah, really.
There's certain things we just don't want to see.
It's the Scotiabank arena. Everything's like now banks. But the Scotiabank, it used to be, my brain just fried.
That wasn't the O'Keefe Center. The O'Keefe Center.
No, the O'Keefe Center is more north. Yeah. Are you driving under a freeway? This is the original, like the road we're on right now is Lakeshore. And then up above us is the Gardner Expressway. And as you can see, they're doing a lot of repair because it's, all the exhaust and everything for years and years and years have worn away the structures. If I remember correctly, the Gardner Expressway was built in the 60s.
Yeah, so it's been around for about 6 years.
In the early 60s. They were going to dig up Lakeshore and move the Gardner Expressway underground, but you can see how long this section is, and it wound up that they couldn't do it. They just couldn't financially figure it out and do it without cutting off traffic, because this is awfully quiet. Usually there's a hell of a lot more people. That would be cool for you guys to show how the convention setups and how does it take to prepare for con.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to be able to get back to that again.
And this is Canada. There's not freeways. They are highways. Yeah. Because, we don't charge there's a few toll highways now, but the term freeway is not something on the books in Canada. It's not a term that we use, which we got used to going down to the States a lot. We always have to remind ourselves that a freeway is a freeway. It's a highway.
Rogers Center.
Oh, and Shane, yes, I know. See, there's a different angle for Rogers Center, and CN Tower is kind of over there, but kind of hard to see. But yeah, that's the Sky Dome. It was renamed the Rogers Center because Rogers basically put the money into use it. I know in BC they keep calling it a freeway, but if you look at the actual government records, it is not called a freeway. Did you watch the Kitty Sea Shanty I sent you? You sent me a Kitty Sea Shanty. See, Kitty sea shanty.
She sells seashells
I
by
did
the
not
seashore.
see that.
Sea
No,
shanty.
I'll have to go back and look. What? She sells.
She
Go
sells
away.
seashells by the seashore with a seashell.
Apparently, crying most of the morning is not helping my tongue. It's audio
So
and
many
pretty funny.
fields.
Okay. Used to be known as the Air Canada Centre. Well,
Yeah.
the Air
So
Canada.
Sky Dome,
Yeah.
then Air Canada Centre, then Rogers
Then
Centre.
Rogers, yes.
Still the Sky Dome.
But the Air Canada Centre included the Convention Centre on the other side of it, and now that's just back to being the Convention Centre. I still call it the Sky Dome. For having me, infrastructure is always under construction. That's true. Hey, Katrina.
Especially in a big city
Kitty,
like this.
what? Oh, yeah. Red Eye, be friends with Shane. Find Shane on Instagram and send her the same one. She will love it. If it's kitty cat anything. I went to the Air Canada Centre with Nadine. Oh, cool. So half of these condos did not exist when we moved to BC. They do now. And now so many people are moving out of the city. So a lot of them are pretty empty.
So do we want to start going?
Yep, always call us
off of Strawn and in next to
I like Sky Dome better than Rogers Centre too. And Caddy over Kitty. Sorry, what, Martin?
Do we want to start by going in at this end, like off of Strawn near the Princess Gates?
Well, we can't go through the gates anymore, which is a shame.
Go around.
Or go past and double back.
Okay. Cool, either way.
That way we don't have to battle with the streetcars. Now, if yesterday we had not driven north from a few blocks behind us, what we were driving on down at Harborfront would have come up here. And we would have turned. Oh, look, the sun's coming out for us. Woo!
Yay, just briefly between the clouds.
Sorry to hear you were crying this morning because I needed it, Katrina. I so needed it.
So many fields.
I was so sopping wet. It was just like a mess. And then Martin looked at me and said, you know, we've got things to do and deadlines to meet, but that's it. We're going for a drive. And I said, only if we get the haps, only if we get the broadcast. He's like, okay.
Let's do that broadcast while it's still daytime.
So if people moving into Texas, we are full. Go away. Probably because there's a lot of physical space, right? A lot of people moving out of Toronto because there's not a lot of physical space. Oh, and it's coming up. Tip Top Tailors, I believe, is just an Ontario chain. But check out this building. This gorgeous, gorgeous building. I don't remember the date on it.
Very Art Deco. I think it was 1920s.
You can see the added piece up top. That piece didn't exist originally. There's a sign up top that says Tip Top Tailors. That used to be down on the original structure. And then they added the condos on top. But they've turned the whole building, because Tip Top Tailors is gone. They've turned the whole building into condos in order to rescue it. Yeah, son, I had no idea you were. Yeah, I was crying a lot this morning. So you 2 Facebook Messenger messages with YouTube links waiting for you. Sorry, I'm not on Instagram. Okay. I'll send it to her then. From my Facebook to her Instagram. Yeah. Cost of living is cheaper here. That's true too. A lot of people are moving out of the city, but that means the cost of living in the city is going to go down again. You're on Facebook too. Well, do you want Red Eye to find you? And do you really want him to find you?
I don't know. I don't know.
I know the feeling I cry at the drop of a hat some days. Yeah. I've not been crying, so it was a good. Oh, did we already go past the lighthouse?
Just past the lighthouse. Sorry.
That's the Prince's Gates. Victoria's sons. Oh, hey, going to stop watching here and start a Facebook help your account. Be right back. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Thank you, Don, for the Super Heart Award. We do the bump, but kind of busy. But yeah, we passed the little lighthouse that used to be on the lake, and then it got moved to its existing location. And most, you see all this over here, go all the way to the end.
All the way to the.
Go all the way to the other entrance. Yeah, go all the way to the back end.
To British Columbia Drive.
So over to the left here is Ontario Place, and Ontario Place is all landfill. And that's where the drive-in theater is. It's there's a big the Budweiser stage. There used to be a much smaller stage for concerts here, but the Forum, yeah, they replaced the Forum with the Budweiser stage. And there's a big dome that's a big IMAX theater. that was built.
The Cinesphere was the first IMAX theater in Canada, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Toronto is so pretty. Thank you, Shane. That building looks like it needs to stay above Marshmallow Man climbing it.
Yeah.
Back, Don's on Facebook. Nice. Starting to miss Canada. Oh, Shane.
I assume that comment was about the
Red Eye, I'm a scary guy.
Taylor's building.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, there's Toronto's one single turbine windmill.
That turbine is so efficient it powers the entire city.
No, it doesn't. Most of our power still comes from Niagara Falls.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going over to the cabin to start, nice and small.
Oh, start with the cabin.
Yeah, park near the end there and walk over to the cabin.
Okay. Yeah, lake's looking a little choppy.
It's going to be cold showing you guys some of this stuff, but we're going to do it. Because we want to. So we're going to be getting in and out of the car a lot.
Please.
Okay, the exhibition grounds were established in the mid-1700s. And the Canadian National Exhibition was a yearly thing that always happened. And back then, of course, it was a lot of farm stuff and small Ferris wheels and stuff like that.
It's a country fair, basically. Yeah.
But you look over to the left here, you'll see the big, huge Medieval Times banner. That used to be the Arts and Craft building. So there's a lot of art shows that were happening in there, and as in show us the amusement parks. Right now, we can't. The only permanent site amusement park is just north of the city, and it's completely closed because of COVID. Doesn't power fail when Niagara Falls is drained? Niagara Falls will never be drained.
And it does. There's
House Royale, yeah. So that used to be the Arts and Craft building, where all the big art fairs were happening. And this used to be was it a government exhibition? It is now a casino. But yeah, all the government stuff, government funding, research, and stuff like that, was always displayed here during the exhibition, during the CNE. So these buildings go back, like way back, and they're just gorgeous. So what we're going to do is we're at the base. There's the base of the turbine. So we're going to come down here. So we've done this before, and we're going to walk over to the cabin. We have yet to get a ticket or get in trouble. Yet.
Let's start today.
That's a Palace Royale, yes. Love the Medieval Times. It was a fun place to be. Yeah. Be right back. Okay, Shane. So I'm going to get Martin to grab the iPad so I can dig out my bag cheese.
Palais Royale, yeah. That's right. Down on the lakeshore. Yeah.
But if you look over in front there, you can see there's a little cabin. Right, that's what we're going to walk up to. Because I want to show you this cabin. It's one of the oldest structures. It is the oldest home in the Toronto area. It's a tiny little cabin.
Lovebug says I used to work down at CNE and my bestie worked at Ontario Place. Fond memories, yeah.
Nice.
Knock on wood on the Niagara Falls thing, Jeff? Yeah, really. Don't hit a tree. Nope, we're good. We're stopped. We're parked.
Well, can I hit a tree with my hand? Bad tree?
You really want to?
Bad tree? All right. So I'm going to show you guys this little cabin. It's tucked into the corner of the property. It's not over yet. It is not its original location. Its original location is more south of here. And they moved it here to protect it during one of the exhibitions. So let's go visit the cabin. And let Martin hold the iPad for a little bit.
Okay.
And then if his fingers get too cold, then we'll trade it back.
Awesome. Getting out of the car. All right, folks. So, yeah, here we go. Looking up. Here's a disorienting shot. Hey, there's a little bit of a rainbow up there. Can you see it?
There's what?
There's a little tiny bit of a rainbow. The cloud that was creating the rainbow just passed.
Cool.
Yeah. It's just a slight misty cloud. Let's check out the cabin from the inside. We can't. It is boarded up. Even under normal conditions, it's boarded up. So we can walk around the outside of it.
It is set up inside like it was when it was, a home. but it's only open during the exhibition, and only X number of people are allowed in at once. And you always have to have a tour person or a government person.
Yep. So we may have to speak up. There's quite a bit of wind, so I don't know what that's doing to the microphone. Here, we show the plaque.
You can see it's worn out. So there's a much clearer one around the other side of the cabin. So we'll walk around where the bigger one is.
Yeah. Here we go. Now, of course, there's been a certain amount of repair and restoration done to this just to make sure it still stands. Boarded up. So this is the bad part of town cabin. Yes, it is.
Historically, I gotta remember I've got the internet in my pocket.
That's right. Can't wander too far from you.
Yes. This shows you how short people were.
Shane's back.
Check this out. I mean, I'm 5'4".
So she's relatively short. Dawn, you would have to crouch most of the time. Hear a few occasional wind gusts, but otherwise you pretty much sound okay. Helps to speak up when facing away from the camera, though. Yep.
So I'm 5'4". This is the front door.
Yeah. So it's barely 5 feet high. Yeah. The wind is barely interfering. Awesome. Do they still have the exhibition? The CNE still operates. Obviously, didn't happen this past year. It's usually the last 2 weeks of August, up to the Labor Day weekend.
But COVID.
But COVID, there was no CNE this year. And yeah, it's basically, as Christina was saying, it's the cabin's closed up, locked up for the year, but they open it up during the 2 weeks of the CNE to allow people to go in and tour it. And they have little people dressed in costume to being little tour guides. Audio is good, but Christina's kind of faint because she's a little farther away.
Did you hear what I said though? Okay. First cabin on the Don River, 1793.
So the Don River. So basically in our neighborhood.
Okay. That's the cabin. This is a painting done or watercolor done of this cabin on the Don River. Okay. Watercolor by Elizabeth Simcoe, wife of John Graves Simcoe, which is one of our founders.
He was the first Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. Yeah.
His cabin was destroyed by fire on January 31st, 1794, and was replaced by the present Scalding Cabin. So this one dates at 1794. So this watercolor was done in 1793. So the original cabin was built before that, and then this one was built in 1794.
It's just like the Burnaby Historic Museum. There's some similarities to it, yeah. Much older, though.
Much older, yes.
By the order of 100 or so years.
In 1858, the map shows the original location of the Scalding Cabin, or Scadding Cabin?
Scadding Cabin.
On the east bank of the Don River, south of Queen Street.
It's where our Toyota dealership is.
That's where we bought the car.
It's literally where we bought our Toyota.
Okay.
The early Canadian settlers were Oompa Loompas.
Toronto's oldest known surviving house. There is another cabin out in Scarborough that's older, but it's not classified as Toronto's oldest known surviving house. Even though Scarborough is now part of Toronto, back when these cabins were moved to their present locations, they were not, they were two separate cities. So it's still classification held. Constructed for John Scadding in 1794 during the first years of British settlement. So government clerk and close friend of Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe. Cabin stood on the east side of the Don River on a 253-acre land grant that stretched north from Lake Ontario to present-day Danforth Avenue.
So that entire stretch, including Riverdale Park East and all that space. Yeah.
So when you think about it, he had this tiny little log cabin for him and his family, yet he had this massive property that was his.
Vince is asking, do they have plays to reenact the history of Toronto? They do have, sometimes they have people
Fort
dressed
York.
in costume, historic Fort York. They have all the people in military costume and talking about the history of the fort and doing some reenactments of some of the
which we would
activities.
love to walk you guys through. We would love to walk you guys through Fort York, but again, Fort York is cut off during COVID.
Yeah.
The whole infrastructure, because it's just north of here. Rumor has it, or well, at least information has it, that there was a French fort on the other side of an inlet that once existed here. The inlet was eventually landfilled in, but the joke is when the War of 1812 happened and the Americans came up to invade, they wound up in the inlet, and the only thing the French fort and the English fort, in other words Old Fort York, agreed on was attacking the Americans. So for that short period of time, as they sunk American ships, apparently they got along.
The common
After
enemy,
that,
you know?
they fought again.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
That's right. Yeah. So yes, it was moved here in the summer of 1879. In the early act of Toronto Heritage Preservation, the York Pioneers dismantled the cabin and reassembled it at this location. So it's been sitting here since 1879.
For the inaugural Toronto Industrial Exhibition, now the Canadian National Exhibition. The CNE.
Now, the unfortunate thing is the snow has covered.
Oh, where the original fort was.
But this was one of, there was about 8 forts in this half of Toronto. And Old Fort York was the biggie. And then there were numerous smaller ones.
Oh, it's chilly. Chilly. Amazing history of the cabin, yeah. A lot of people don't realize how far Canadian history actually goes. Canadian and American history. Especially along the East Coast and eastern states and provinces, because they were settled first from Europe. Fort Rouy.
There is a little stone outline to show you how small this fort was, how tiny this particular fort was. But it's covered in snow right now, so we'd be able to show you by walking around the outside of how small this actual fort was. But
oh yes, Katrina, they do still have the exhibition. It just didn't happen this year because of COVID, but it's the last 2 weeks of August every year.
That was here was not only tiny, it was French. And they mostly dealt with trading with the native Indians. They really didn't do any protection. And with Old Fort York's just being north of here, which is English, this fort was eventually destroyed and taken away, I think.
Fort Rouy.
Yeah. 1750, 1751. So,
small people equals small fort, small snowballs too.
Well, they were hoping to cut off the trade from the English fort. The French were hoping to trade first. They were hoping the natives wouldn't go past this spot to go and trade with the English. Mm-hmm. They failed. They had some trading, but not enough. The English fort is so much larger that they just had better options. So yeah, this fort did not hang around very long. So if you look over here.
Didn't do it. Wasn't us.
That was the whole layout of the fort. So the Côte de Grade.
This is all on the French side. This is the French side of the plaque.
Yeah, well, It's a French fort.
Oh, I see. Okay, no, sorry, left and right, French and English. Oh, apologies.
English. French comes first on this particular plaque because it was a French fort. If this was an English fort, the English would be over here.
French fort. So basically, it was a protected above-ground wine cellar.
Tiny it was not very big at all. No. 1982, they excavated this whole area to figure out where it was because they knew it was around here somewhere.
So that was one of the fire engines out of the fire hall here on the exhibition grounds.
On the actual exhibition grounds, yeah.
Going out
Which
on
is
the lake
still
shore.
the original old fire hall, but new fire trucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm starting to get cold.
Starting to get cold?
Yeah.
Well, everything else we can drive around and stop at a few places.
Yep.
To show a few more of the older buildings. So this site has got quite the history. Just the exhibition itself and then everything else on top of it. We're more like underneath it by now.
Underneath it, yeah.
There are also large chunks of grave sites around this property, as well as just north of some of the parks. Most of it from the War of 1812, everything from horses to military to, they just dug holes and threw people in during the war.
Is that a Mountie siren, or do they mount sirens on horses, or is that just in Greek myths? No, Dawn, that was a fire engine. And yeah, maybe they do put sirens on the horses. Like all the snow, yeah. Can you guys make the French fort emblem to see how it looks to compare on the plaque? Not sure I understand what you mean, Vince. The if there wasn't so much snow, we'd be able to show you the actual little markers that show where the corners of the fort, where the bastions were, to show how small it was. It was maybe 100 feet across. So not a very big fort at all
Really,
in the grand scheme of things.
It only had 30 people.
Yeah.
Micro for a fort.
And of course, the French, they thought 30 is more than enough people.
Well, they went up so quickly. They were just in competition. They didn't stop to think about what they were actually doing. They just wanted to block off the fur trade from the English fort.
Exactly. Hello from Gold Coast. Welcome aboard.
So they put it up as quickly as they could and as cheaply as they could.
Yeah, because it was a wooden fort, wasn't it?
Yep. The whole thing was wood.
Whereas Fort York has actually got stone walls around it. All the buildings are wooden, but inside is stone, or outside is stone walls. All right, I'm gonna get back in the car, which needs a terrible bath already. All the road salt and grime. Say goodbye to the turbine. You can hear the thing whirring in the wind. Oh, that was very chilly out there.
We presently have a negative 14 Celsius wind chill factor. So
Yeah,
every
my
time
fingers
the
are
wind
really.
hit us, yeah. Should have brought my mask. It works as a good scarf.
Yeah, really.
Oh, hang on.
Oh,
My wrap has got me trapped.
She's wrapped in her wrap.
Ah! Oh boy. All right.
Okay.
Struggle
Bye,
is over.
turbine.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real. Oh, I can't feel my fingers now.
Okay, next time I will.
Okay, back up and around.
How many acres from it at the cabin? How many acres from what at the cabin? I like all the snow, Shane says. The French fleur de lis is the fleur de lis is the French symbol. Bye, turbine.
Oh, Vince, are you suggesting that the fort looked a little like a fleur de lis?
Oh no, it doesn't. It's a standard fort
Configuration.
And what I love about this place, if Martin can just stop for a moment, is these statues are just, to me, the most gorgeous things. See if I can do a little zoom in. I just love these statues. I think they're gorgeous. Okay. If you had a tall enough ladder and the right timing, you could use the turbine like a trebuchet.
Oh yeah.
Too cold for you.
Tie a sling to one of the one of the blades.
Oh, how many acres around the cabin? I don't even think it's like 1 acre in total.
I mean, where do you draw the line at this point?
French
But
civil.
the original cabin was on 250 acres or something,
Yes.
and that's back at the other end of town.
Stop a moment.
Where we currently live.
Stop a moment. Can I get the lions? Martin, get your head out of the way.
Oh, actually, why don't we just drive in there?
You can do that.
Let's drive.
These lions should look familiar to Shane.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and it is the same standard British lion that was on every single structure built during this time period. Just go to that one to the left. It's got less snow on it. Yeah. So Shane, familiar style lion? Yes, the same lions are on the Lion Gate Bridge. This style of lion is very common on all the British built structures. We have gloves, but we can't touch the screen with the gloves because it really. Oh yeah, how many acres was the property though?
It was around 250 acres. It was back in near our old neighborhood.
French symbols all over Louisiana, but building a trebuchet would be so much more fun.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
You just need a good throwing arm and a sling to lasso the end of one of the blades.
It's so cold the statues have nipples, hard nipples. But no, you're right. It's not that kind of broadcast. Are they soldiers? No, these statues are all Roman, like gods and goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting combination between, the whole Roman origins of a lot of the a lot of the British, culture and civilizations.
Bloody Romans.
Bloody Romans. And, and then you've got the English style lion. But if you look behind this one, it looks like she's got a gear behind her.
Yeah.
But remember, this was an industrial building. This building was the Ontario government building. Let's see, actually, put yourself facing that front door because there's the right up on the arch over top of the archway. It
says education.
It's so cool. The lions have hard nipples. Cool lions. Yeah, I love those lions.
Here we go.
The Art Museum in Vancouver. Yes, it's a very common style lion because it's the same as. Can you clean the windshield, Martin? Oh, it doesn't get up.
I can only clean what the wipers will reach at the moment. So I can read that from here if you want. Oh, look at that. Oop.
What?
Interesting. When you turn off the power, the windshields, the wipers don't. Okay, so I can read that from here.
Steampunk statue lady.
Ontario government erected a government building erected 1926. Honorable G.H. Ferguson, Bachelor of Arts, etc., Prime Minister at the time. Honorable G.S. Henry, Minister of Public Works and Highways. W.F. Nicol, Honorable, a whole bunch of Honorable so and so and so and so and so and so. Closing with Honorable L. Carr, Master of Business.
Well, what can I say? We don't suck after all.
You got like a bull on one side of the arch and almost like a Chinese dragon on the other side of the arch, the little faces. And the figure on the right looks like Hermes, like with the helmet, but there's he's holding a caduceus.
That's right.
In his hand. So there's certain medical.
So during the exhibition, at one time, this was the building that they did all the government displays, all the government funded stuff that went on display here, and all the science fairs and stuff like that. It is now a casino, Dawn, not a museum. I'm not even going to try to go through those front doors with the car. Yeah, that's right. Break into a casino with a vehicle. That's really good.
We need 9 more people.
They were moving sooner than they thought. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Chicago.
Hey, Chicago.
So yes, Martin and I are still hopefully going to get $40 with the sponsors in the next month minimum, and we can start doing special projects for our sponsors and show you guys appreciation. And of course, we love the awards. And those of you who are not on HAPS, get on HAPS. So once again, we come around the other side, and this is now medieval times, but it used to be called the Arts and Craft Building, and this beautiful red brick building, which we'll kind of see when we come around. This beautiful red brick building used to be where all the art shows were and all the craft fairs. And with the bus there, why don't we turn right?
Saskatchewan Road. Otherwise,
yes.
We're going out.
We can always come back out this way so you guys can see the front of the building when we double back.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, the building now is a casino, Vince. So, casino, museum, bookshop, grocery store, whatever. Floor it. So all these buildings used to be all part of the exhibitions. This is the old fire station.
Actually,
no, fire station's up there. Over there. Oh no, these were the horse. Can't remember. It wasn't the horse stadium. It was because the big doors.
Yeah, it's got a large dome on it, like like you would expect in Victorian, like the Crystal Palace.
That was the carriage house. Here's the fire station.
Nope.
Yes. Yes. It's right around that corner.
It's right around the corner.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to get it on camera, and
we go straight to the fire hall.
Okay, go straight to the fire hall, so I don't have to try to struggle to show it to them.
Other buildings.
Yes.
That was the press building.
That was the press building. My father spent many. It still is. It still is the property's press building. It is so everyone would do the reports and go running.
Here we go.
There we go. See, I was trying to get it past the buildings. Failing.
So here.
There we go. Here's the fire hall. For the CNE grounds, of all things, right? There's the fire station. The CNE grounds have their own little fire station. But yeah, all of these buildings are part of the original CNE. And then you got these things that were built in the 60s. And you can see the difference, right? These were all built in the
Elizabeth
60s
building.
to basically support the growth of the exhibition. Because the exhibition is just a temporary setup. Where did the Mountie station at? Actually, their horses are on this property. You can't argue with physics. This is true. Agriculture, yes, very much so. The hose tower, yes. That was an old hose. Food building was built in the 60s. The food for the exhibition used to be out of a different building. But the Queen Elizabeth building. And the home of the Argonauts. I can't remember the name of this actual stadium.
Isn't this the Coca-Cola?
Is it the Coca-Cola whatever?
Or BMO. It's BMO Field.
It's BMO.
That's right. I see a big sign over there.
This stadium replaced the original large stadium, much larger stadium. The exhibition stadium was torn down, unfortunately, in 2003, because we were already living in BC, yes. And they replaced it with a much smaller stadium. Thanks for showing the agriculture history of Toronto. You are welcome, Vince. So these are all the more modern buildings that were put on the property. There used to be a lot more rides and carnival thingies way back in the Victorian era.
Let that taxi go by.
And so these are the more modern buildings that are on the spots where those rides and agricultural corrals and stuff like that used to be. Because of course the C&E became a very different beast when you think about it. There's Ontario Place again across the way. Hello from Calgary. Hello, Dr. John. If you're not already on HAPS, get yourself over here. Okay, you crazy kids, gotta scoot. If you get approached by a cop, pull out your dog leash. If you see Benton Fraser, say hi for me. You got it.
I thought he was in Chicago. Is he back in Canada now?
So in this parking lot under that snow is the actual home plate of the original stadium. The original stadium used to go all the way to the edge. So you can see this stadium is so much smaller. And there used to be a very large roller coaster right next to the stadium. Now you can see it's all parking area. This roller coaster was built in the late 1800s, and it was referred to as the Flyer. But unfortunately, training staff on the Flyer was a difficult thing because it wasn't like all the modern roller coasters. And there was a major accident as one of the staff members got distracted by a lovely lady and forgot to put the brakes on one of the trains. And the one train smashed into the other train. And that's when they decided, you know what? No, this old wood roller coaster from the late 1800s is going bye-bye. And they tore it down and made more parking. So you can see that's the most modern building to our left.
The Intercare Center. Big convention center.
Big convention center. But it is built on the front of the original historical buildings. If you go inside this building, no, keep going straight. Go right down to the gates. We'll double back. Okay. When you go inside this building, you see the fronts of the historical buildings themselves. And that's because they encased the buildings inside and built this. This was built in 1995?
Yeah.
Mid-90s? Yeah, there was a huge, massive wooden old roller coaster there. That's the barracks for the second English fort or the second French fort. I think it was the English fort. So that was, I'm twisting, that was the barracks. So that was built in the early 1700s for one of the English forts, but not the big, the Fort York is. This is brand new. This was built when we were gone. This hotel and services, juice bar, pro shop. It's called the 10. Now this is one of my favorite videos. Those of you who were there that night when we were doing photos of our history and we showed a picture of Martin sitting inside a kit. Share some coins with our favorite Christina Martin. Thank you, Don. Did you guys have the convention there? No, the convention we met at was out by the airport. You say Chicago, I say Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, one is double as the other.
So this is the old automotive building, which is now the Beanfield Center. When it was built in the late 1900s, it was built to feature automotives at the time. When you think about it, automotives were a big thing that only the rich could afford. So this building was only for automotive purposes. Now it's opened itself up to a lot of stuff. The one-of-a-kind art show is also done here now in this building instead of the arts building, because the arts building is no longer the arts building. But this was where that picture was taken with Martin sitting in kit. when it was used all the time for the auto shows. I think it might still be used for auto shows. And then this is the back of the gate, unfortunately. And I see, I see a special,
Paramedic.
yeah. So I don't know if we can get away with parking and walking around to the front. Is that kind of parking to our right?
It could be. We could just throw the four ways on and probably have no issues. It's only a paramedic. It's not parking.
So we're gonna walk you guys around to the front of the gate. This time I will hold it.
See, that's how much snow we had. That's a
Thank you,
lot,
Dr.
That's a
John.
lot of piles of snow.
That's a lot of pile snow. Yeah, we had a lot of snow. Thank you, Katrina. We haven't come up with something for appreciate, but Martin, to the Super Hard Award.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna show you the gate. Where's the auto show moved to? They have the smaller ones here. The bigger one is in the large convention center downtown. And there's still the convention centers that are out by the airport in the boroughs, outside, just outside Toronto, up by the airport. A lot of conventions are held there as well, like things like, Anime North is held up there. So there we go. Here's the plaque. This is one of many plaques. They all say the same thing. Entrance to the Canadian National Exhibition. Now, people accidentally or more foolishly tend to call it the Princess Gate. It's not the princess. There's no princess involved here. There are two princes. Built in 1927 to commemorate 60 years of Canadian Confederation, which is the year. It was 100. What your birthday is? 19.
Is 1967. That's the centennial.
Yeah. So it's 50 years. Yeah, 50 years before. 40 years before you were born.
Yeah, 40.
6 years of Canadian Confederation. The stone and concrete gates were designed by the Toronto firm of Chapman and Oxley, and are a fine example of monumental architecture in the Beaux Arts mode. Sculptor Charles D. McKenney created the statues. The winged Victory atop the central arch is flanked by figures representing the CNE's commitment to progress through industry, education, and the arts. Gates were opened officially on August 30th, 1927 by Edward, Prince of Wales, and Prince George. They have been known ever since as the Prince's Gates. So a lot of the structures here are much older than the gates, and the exhibition existed before these gates were put into place. However, in 1927, they decided they needed gates to the property. You used to be able to drive through these gates, but they no longer let vehicles go through the gates because of, again, all the pollution, and the exhaust was starting to corrode and stain the main archway.
I think they learned from Paris and l'Arc de Triomphe.
Yes.
Which is suffering a lot of damage from the car fumes and exhaust.
Guys, you are now tour guides of Toronto. This is amazing. This was the amazing city of Toronto. Thank you both so much. You are welcome. I love my city this much. And I mean it. You guys come. You tell me what you want to see. We'll do it. Okay, so there you go. There's the plaque that was mounted. Officially opened on Tuesday, August the 13th.
1927.
By HRH, the Prince of Wales, accompanied by HRH Prince George. First to pass through these gates was a Veterans Parade under the auspicious the Canadian Legion
of the British Empire Service League.
For review by HRH, the Prince of Wales.
I like how they make their hubs. They put an F in the middle of an O just to abbreviate the word a little bit.
Be awesome like Dr. John and Katrina Porter and share some coins. Thank you so much, Don. Because they're like pretty cool. That's cool. Thank you, Vince. I'm enjoying this so much. It's like I'm right there with you. Honey, Martin and I developed such a nice friendship with you. We were able to be negative and positive and up and down, and we were able to be so much with you around. You're always here with us, honey, to the end of time. So yeah, they put these huge pointers here, so now you can't drive through the gates anymore because it'll destroy your vehicle. So there you go. There's our victory. This is the first time I've been out of the downtown area. Well, we are still in the downtown area, Dr. John. Where are you? You mean the actual core itself? Did you move to Toronto? Tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll come check out your profile when we're not broadcasting again.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this one will keep, because we lost a broadcast recently. Like, it doesn't seem to be showing up. Of course, when the weather is nice, those fountains are going. Hello, France. Let me zoom in. Invite your friends in. Thank you. Dawn, you are awesome. And if I go over here, I used to travel there for work. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, we're happy to do this. You know, we're hoping to do more of them, and we're gonna go back to do some builds at some point. And but yeah, cars used to be able to drive under here, but there was too much staining and too much exhaust problems and corrosion of the gate. So they sort of went, nope, not gonna happen anymore. So they put in these huge barriers to keep people from driving in.
They still use these gates for ticket gates.
Yes, you can still come through for the CNE. They put ticket gates in front. Gotta jam, stay frosty. Oh, I don't think we have a choice. But yeah, technically the downtown core is just over there. So it's part of Toronto proper and technically downtown, but it looks like the gates of the little garden area is closed. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, you see there's a little garden area back there with more stuff in it, but the gate is closed. So we'll come over here to these plaques. These are more modern plaques that they've been putting on a lot of the historical sites. And they include photographs, which the original, like the older plaques, didn't. So there you go. Erected in 1927 to mark the 60th anniversary. Artificial stone made from cement. So there's each of the. So we've got each of the statues here. Number one above the center arch is Winged Victory. Here, because of the wind, I'll let you guys read for a moment. Scarface official. Thank you for subscribing. So if you guys want to take screen caps, please feel free to do so. The hands are getting really, really cold because they handle the iPad. We've got to keep our gloves off. So there's the donors and the project, and because they basically revitalized the whole thing. They cleaned up this whole front area. They put in those gates and stuff around the little park area. They did all the concrete benches. Yeah,
the benches are all engraved with provincial.
That's right.
Icons.
Got different provinces on each bench.
Oh, and the common tree of the Nova Scotia red spruce, PEI over there, the red oak, New Brunswick. Can't breathe it.
And yeah, normally, if it was warmer, of course the fountains would be going. Follow me back. Well, if it saves this time, because the last few haven't, we always check our broadcast afterwards to do that, so that we're not working during, like we're not trying to juggle it during the broadcast itself. So a lot of Latin. A lot of Latin.
How's the translation to small print on
Woo! Gotta run. See you again. Stay warm out there. Thank you. It's once again Christina Martin. This is wonderful. We will show you everything we can. We will be bouncing between personal broadcasts, touring broadcasts, and building broadcasts. Yep.
Have any hospital broadcasts?
Not allowed to broadcast in the hospital.
That's true.
Woo! And again, once we can get that $40 a month too, like make that amount, it'll be a lot easier to do more. Because there'll be that many dollars a month we won't have to make otherwise. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm gonna hand this to Martin because I have this rack of mine that's a pain in the butt.
There we go.
Ah, honestly, I don't have a cold.
Sniffy.
It's just cold wind to warm car. My fingers are numb.
Now you're not bundled up and wrapped in your wrap anymore?
Nope.
You know someone from PBI, Katrina.
Nice. So yeah, we're gonna drive over to the side. I want to see if because we should be able to walk up to the building and see through the glass. Show the older building inside.
Right.
Turn your four ways off. I don't know why there's paramedics sitting here, but
Taking a break. From what? Paramedicing?
so yes, the Inner Care Center here is built on the front of the older buildings. And it's actually managed to lengthen the lifespan of the older buildings. I appreciate you both showing us these amazing sights. Christina, you need some warm hot cocoa. I've got my hot tea. I got my tea. It's kind of hard to drink when you're holding onto an iPad. I should have thought about that ahead of time. That was not well planned.
Wait, you were on a film shoot here for The Boys, weren't you?
Yeah. In
Doing background work.
no, not The Boys.
Oh no, sorry. Wasn't it?
No, it
'Cause
was
it
that
was the-
sports thing from
Oh right, okay, that's
something and something. Damn it.
right. No, The
I've
Boys
got it
was a
dog-eared.
different place where there was a big. They had the big news conference in front of the Vought Tower or whatever.
Yeah, that was downtown. That was by the O'Keefe Center.
Oh right, okay.
Turn right for me. No, this was this fake athletics thing.
Right, it was supposed to be summer, but it was like.
No, that was The Boys. But this
that
one
was
was
The Boys.
this was when I first ran into John.
I'm getting them all mixed up. Oh,
You
that's
are
right.
getting them mixed up. That's okay. I've been getting a bunch mixed up myself. That's how many productions we do, folks. So this building in front of us, again, one of the older buildings, and it's been preserved by. You look at part of the building is covered by the new building. The new building is right over top of it. So inside this newer building is the frontage of this older building. It's in here, in that portion of the building, that the horses for the RCMP. And you can see it's unmarked for a reason. But yeah.
So, to be pulled over somewhere.
Do you want to stay with the car this time?
I'll stay with the car.
Okay.
Keep it thirsty.
When was the Argonauts hockey team formed? Hockey team. They're not. They're
Argonauts are football.
sorry, football. They're not hockey. They're
Maple
football,
Leafs
honey.
are hockey.
Maple Leafs are hockey, and they were like, geez.
Maybe that was a trick question.
Maple Leafs were like early 1900s. Okay, we're gonna leave Martin here for a moment
I'll keep the car warm for you.
because the car is now definitely not in a spot that we won't get ticketed. But I want to show you this. Woo! Yeah, the Argonauts are football. I want to show you how beautifully they did this. So we've got the Coca-Cola Coliseum, which is where they do the magic rides and stuff like that, like the musical rides for the horses for the RCMP. They do the musical rides in here, and the horses are in the building next door, which is where the stables are. You can see what they did. They took the much newer building. So you can't go in, everything's locked up, unfortunately. But they took the much newer building and built it around the older building. So that's inside the newer building. You can see all the girders and everything. You can see another entrance to the Coliseum. So when I was a kid, all of that stuff was outside still. See if I can get a better angle over here. You can see all the big hall inside. And there's another large hall area, just inside those. See those doors? That's actually a large gate. Those doors over there, that's actually a large gate. Oops, my bad. That's okay. So let's see if I can give you another angle. But yeah, so these are the doors we used to always go in. And they used to all be outside. Let's walk over here. Try not to fall over. But this was the agriculture building. There we go. You can see see if I can do this without a shadow. There we go. So you can see on the left is all the original building. And then they built this larger building in front of it. So the agricultural buildings, which is what this originally was all the agricultural buildings. So it's where the cattle and you see all these here. These animal figures used to be on a section of the building inside that unfortunately was crumbling. So it was just too damaged. So they moved them out here. And being the agricultural building, of course, we've got all the animals in for the exhibition. They show off all the animals. Things like manure and stuff like that creates toxins. And there was a section of the building that they had to completely repair. That was smart. They kept the old building with the modern one now. Yeah. Yeah, Toronto's been very clever combining old and new. This is my favorite of the bunch. I don't know why. I think he's got the most personality. It's a perfect spot. Yeah. But Martin's right. He did a shoot in here one day, and it was really nice being able to. But this half of the building over here is the stables. The back of the building looks very different. But that's all the stables. All the RCMP horses are in this building here. If you go down the back area, it's all stable doors and stuff like that. And yeah, they would have the musical ride over here. So they would basically go just between the two buildings to get to the musical ride. Ooh, hands are cold. I like the wolf symbol. I can't reach it. Thank you. I need warmer jeans too. I need real jeans, not these cheap stretch ones. I want the real stores to open so I can change. So I can try things on and get real clothes again. What's the difference between a $20 pair of cheap jeans from Walmart that are so thin or a $65 pair of jeans that'll last you forever and are really nice and thick denim, which is what Canadians usually get. Well, Canadians like me. All right. Okay. So yes, inside this, the RCMP horses used to be down by the Dawn stables, but there was a fire down there, and we lost the Dawn stables itself, and the police stables decided that the horses weren't safe there anymore because they weren't 100% sure what started the fire in the one stable. So they moved them into these stables because they usually come down to these stables at different parts of the year for just the exhibition. But the horses building. The horses building. Yep, exactly. This is all geared towards horses. So they used to come down just for the exhibition. So when the fire happened on the stable next to them down in the Don Valley, they moved them down in Sunnybrook Park. They moved the horses permanently here. I always love the front of this section of the horse building. I just love that curvature. Just love the way it's shaped. Stop for a second. There's no one behind us. And I always love these doors, the crisscross red and black. You see the horse up top? So this building is designed for horses. So yeah, I haven't been visiting for ages because of what's been happening. But when the exhibition is open, you can go in and visit the RCMP horses, and they've got all their names over their stalls, and the RCMP officers, are there to talk about their horses and stuff like that. And the food building is like the most boring building on the whole property, but during the exhibition, it smells really good.
So many different food vendors. We have the exhibition go station right in front of us here.
I love the curves of the building. Yeah, it's my favorite part of the exhibition horses building. Woo! Sun in the eyes.
The horse trailers.
The horse trailers are parked back here.
Wow.
Woo! Sunshine. Oh, can't really see anything up the glass either. Oops. Let's see if I can at least decrease. Oh, that's a little better.
back towards the medieval times buildings.
Yes. Oh, where's the fountain?
Oh yeah,
The Peace Fountain.
Peace Fountain. Let's go this way.
Yeah.
We kind of passed it on the way over to the to see the fire hall.
So there's the
Fire hall.
The other fire hall from the other side, because the fire hall has two sides to it, basically. Yeah. Go. Is it?
So that way. Oh no, hold on.
No, it's left.
It's left. When were they left here?
So yeah. So that we just went by the other side of the. Thank you for the wonderful history and tour. I grew up in the city, so I guess you guys can see why I needed to come back. Like when everything went wrong in British Columbia, I needed this. So no matter what happens to us here, I needed to be here.
Oh wait, I think we did boo boo.
You did boo boo. No, I did.
It's this way.
Yes.
We're not supposed to be driving here because those are our tracks from earlier.
Yes. Yes, but you know,
road, but,
I don't see any officers.
We're here on official business.
That's right.
Let's just head down.
It's not clear.
It's snow. I couldn't tell.
That's right. Oh, the turbine with the setting sun. That is gorgeous.
There it is. That's not right. Oh,
yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Where is she? There should be the winged on top.
Should be. Yeah.
Was she taken down for restoration or something? No, I hope she was like. Okay, where is she? That's the right fountain. Sorry, guys, I'm having a moment as Martin gets in the camera. See, that fountain should have a very, very similar. Oh no, maybe this isn't the right fountain.
Yeah, I'm thinking this.
Oh, it's close to the water.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the fountain we're after. So we can't actually drive up to it, unfortunately.
Well, let's go down there and park a bit and get out again.
Island Crescent. Sorry?
Let's go down and yeah, all these streets actually have. There's a good shot of the press building. I remember a couple of our CMP were at one of the vacation and travel shows in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. They are kind of like a major part of our culture. So
it was on the other side of the trees when we were down at the French Fort.
Yeah, but the road comes closer to it on this side.
On Lakeshore?
So turn yourself around. No, turn yourself around. Turn yourself around. I'm so used to walking this property.
No buses about to crunch us.
Yeah, so go this way and then turn right over there.
Okay. It's just down there on the other side of the band shell, I think.
Yeah. The band shell is really cool when they have summer concerts at the band shell.
The shadow of the turbine on the side of the building.
Oh yeah, that is pretty cool. Martin's very observant. Sometimes a little clueless on the day-to-day stuff, but on the interesting things he sees all the time. You're welcome. Yeah, it's down here. Keep going.
You gotta stop.
Well, of course you gotta stop. It's a stop sign. We don't want to get in trouble. She should be. There should be a right turn here. Yeah, keep going right. Yeah, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. Yeah, I don't have my ski socks on underneath her. My toes would be warmer. There she is, to the left. He's back. John's back. You can't get rid of me that easily. Wahaha. See, she's right there. I knew she was somewhere. And you should be able to, well, you should be able to pull here.
Here by the steps?
Just off to the right, by the steps, yeah. Because there's actually kind of parking over there, but.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to park proper? or do you care?
By Aquadolce.
Yeah, because there's parking right there. Looks like you're close to 250. Am I really? Cool. Everyone, share. Share, 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 share. Okay. This is the Peace Fountain. It's Martin's turn to hold the camera.
Yes.
How do you both feel about doing a neon pirate photo shoot? A neon pirate? I'd rather do a steampunk neon photo shoot. Or a fairy neon.
Steampunk pirate photo shoot.
But our pirate outfits are not very neon. I mean, if that's what you want.
But
I think the steampunk would be much more successful than neon.
Yes.
Or maybe Martin and I should put together some 1970s outfits. Or our leather outfits. Do photo shoot with the leather outfits.
That could work. That could work. Yeah.
You got the key here. Okay.
Bearing in mind that what we see is a combination of your viewers and reactions. You're now at 264, so you must be close to 250. Oh, right. So we'd be able to tell in our analytics, if we looked at it from a different phone, exactly what views and what reactions we're getting. Don't go into the corn. Hey, G-Man. Hey, South, how are you? Don't go into the corn. Children of the corn. Share and share like, because sharing is caring.
Yeah, that's her.
So I wonder what's going on in the Better Living Center.
I think they've temporarily turned it into like a homeless
Into a shelter?
soup kitchen
Yeah.
shelter.
247 live views. Thank you, Jeff, for updating that. So 3 more live views, but keep them coming.
Let's
get some more people in there.
Way too small and it's way too cold.
Yeah. Notice them doing that in a lot of spaces, like the little stadiums and arenas are being turned into shelters, especially in these temperatures now. It's bloody cold today. Now 250 and climbing. Thank you, Jeff.
I would not want to be homeless in this weather.
I watch my footing here. There's a lot of ice. I would say better living. Hopefully there's better living going on in the Better Living Center.
Well, the nice thing is, when this fountain turns off because the weather's chilly, it's actually the best time to do photos because you can get right up to her.
Yeah, there's a lot of footprints in and around the fountain.
As opposed to, when she's running.
The
So there you go.
Shrine Peace Memorial.
Set up by the Shriners. June 12, 1930, this Peace Memorial was presented to the people of Canada by Imperial Potentate Noble Leo V. Youngworth on behalf of the 600,000 members of the ancient Arabic order nobles of the Mystic Shrine to commemorate the peaceful relationship existing for over a century between Canada and the United States.
Hope you're not disturbing anything hibernating. Nope.
This gift was received by Noble, the Honorable Georges S. Henry, prostate of Ramses Shrine Temple, Toronto, representing the citizens of Canada on August 20th, 1958. You continue to sound
the broadcast here.